Welcome to Suite 301. We're coming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're here to give you the latest news and updates about Cult Club sports. You can watch all of our broadcasts on Suite 301, on our Suite 301 page, and on our Facebook pages and YouTube. Now, let's jump right into it, and let's talk some baseball, some NCBA. We got Jimmy Henderson on the set today with us to talk baseball. So, Jimmy, we got the fall season underway, and let's talk about some early season matchups thus far.
Yeah. Thanks, Christian. Like you said, we are heading into week 3 of the season. So 2 weekends of play, of action has already happened, and I have some key early matchups that have already taken place. And first, I want to shout out Fairfield University. They played a doubleheader versus Division I Sacred Heart. Fairfield is a new team. This is their first year in the league, and they beat them twice. So coming in fresh, getting their feet wet with the NCBA and beating a Division I team twice is impressive on their own.
That's great.
They made it known they wanted to be in Division II, even understanding our protocol that new teams go into Division III. They felt that they were very successful in their previous league and wanted to, show that they knew what they were doing, and they're off to a good start for sure.
Good stuff, man. And you said they're a new team. They're one of those defectors from that other league. Okay, well, good for them. That's a nice feather in their cap early in the season, taking on a D1 team and showing, hey, we're not a D3 team, we're a D2 team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other big matchups thus far?
I got a couple here. Two 2022 World Series teams were in action with Cal PA and North Dakota. Coincidentally, both teams spent a lot of time in the number 1 spot in the rankings. They got their conference season kicked off last weekend, where Cal PA took all 3 from IUP, so they're off to a good start, and North Dakota took 2 of 3 from North Dakota State in conference play. So they're both underway, both historically good programs, at least recently, so they're kicking off their season the right way and making their push towards the postseason already.
All right, cool. What else you got? Any more?
Last matchup, then we'll talk just housekeeping items. Maryland-Millersville played. Maryland made the regional last year. Millersville was close. Maryland took 2 of 3 there, but that is a non-conference matchup. But good to see 2 good teams getting together and just playing 3 competitive games. 1 2-run game, and the other 2 were 1-run games.
Which you don't see a lot this time early in the season. A lot of teams are getting the rust off, things like that. I know you mentioned a lot of D2 games. I know you're the guru of D2, being the director. D3 and D1 also got underway as well?
D3 has not. Division I just had that Fairfield and Sacred Heart games, so they're still they're getting underway this week. D1 gets underway this week with a bunch of games. Division III does not until week 4.
Okay, cool.
But next month we'll probably have some updates there on those 2 leagues as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're happy to have Division III back for our NCBA teams. So I know this time of year, we're obviously in season, a lot of things going on, a lot of things teams need to be looking out for. What are some housekeeping items? What are some things that teams need to be checking their emails regularly for?
Right, yeah. So with games getting underway, guys, you need to have your academic letters in and getting your players registered in the queue. Those 2 things kind of work simultaneously. The kids can register first, and then the academic letter comes. As long as they're eligible with the regular eligibility, and then the academic eligibility comes in, they get put onto the roster. So just make sure you're getting ahead of that. We do send a reminder email each Monday for the upcoming weekend's games if you don't have a roster in. But it's mentioned in that email, the schools can take a while to get that back in, right? So do it now, even if you don't play for 2 more weeks or whatever, because it happens every year, every week. It's Friday evening, and we don't know if the academic letter is coming or not. If it gets to us, we'll get you activated, but you cannot play games without that stuff being in.
Yeah, and it's going to be a common theme with all of our housekeeping items throughout all of our leagues.
Topics.
Yeah, same topic. We got softball underway. Basketball is going to be getting underway here shortly. Men's and women's. I know football's underway, so it's very important. I know each league has kind of different rules as far as the roster, but I know on softball, if you don't have 9 eligible players on your roster, it's an automatic forfeit.
Yep.
There's no questions asked. So that's what I've been hitting the softball teams hard with is hey, get this in, get it in. You get, first steps getting the team manager so that they can get the team code to get to the player so that they can register, and then getting to work on the academic letter because the academic letter, like you said, sometimes it takes a day. Sometimes the registrar or whoever's signing off on it will say, hey, this is going to take us 2 weeks to get through because they have all these other club teams and other students to verify academics. So it's good to just get on that as early as possible, because there's issues too. You see
somebody registers wrong.
Registers wrong. They're registered, but they're not on the academic letter. They're on the academic letter, and they're not registered yet. So getting that in, early enough, we can catch those things and work through them. So, very important. And I know emails have gone out to all the teams that have games coming up. So make sure that if you have any questions about that, let us know. Anything else housekeeping-wise to look out for?
No, I think that's all I got. And that's the most important one, getting that valid roster online. Nobody wants to forfeit a game for any reason, but if you have to forfeit because you don't have a roster, that's something that's completely avoidable.
Yep, absolutely. Let's get into our Swing into Spring events down in Panama City Beach. I know we're well underway getting teams signed up for that, but take us through what's going on there.
As you guys should see on the screen, there's going to be baseball and softball again in Panama City Beach, Florida, during you guys' spring breaks. It's a really fun event. The complex is beautiful. I was down there last year to help run it. The contact info for the respective leagues there to register with Antonio handling baseball and Lacey handling softball. And if you have any questions about the event, let us know. Talk to us about it. Talk to other teams that that have went. Baseball has been more popular in the past here, but the softball teams, the ones that went last year, we had 7 or 8. They seem to really enjoy it, and the facility's great. It's all turf, so there's no issue in getting games in and everything else, and on top of everything else that you can do down there. So please consider going down, or at least talking to us about it, as I think once you go once, it's going to be something you're probably going to try to incorporate into your budget and your plans going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think every time we talk about our Swing into Spring, our retention rates from teams that go once coming back year after year are if not 100%, very close to 100%. Teams love it. We had a great decade and a half down in Tampa, and we this past year we moved to Panama City Beach at this new location, but it's a brand new facility, like you said, turf fields, so we can get games turned around really quickly since there's no in-between field maintenance, and the facility's close to the beach, but I know a lot of our hotel properties are on the beach. It's Panama City Beach. It's known for spring break. So, and teams can make it however they want to make it. If they want to make it a baseball-heavy trip where they're playing 5, 6, 7 games while they're down there, they can do that. If they want to play one game while they're down there and do the spring break, the typical college spring break experience, they can do that as well. And it's obviously a huge bonding experience for all the teams. And I know it helps teams throughout the regular season. I mean, getting that, a lot of our teams are from the north that come down, so to be able to get on the field early where they normally wouldn't be able to get on the field, to play teams that they normally wouldn't play, it helps get the rust off. It builds that team chemistry. So the benefits to going to this event are through the roof, and I think the biggest thing teams are scared of is, hey, we can't afford this. It's all the way down in Florida. But I think, you'd be shocked to find out how cheap it actually is. So if you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence about it, I highly suggest, if you're a baseball team, reach out to Antonio. If you're a softball team, reach out to Lacey. I think we had record numbers of softball teams there last year. So I can't speak highly enough about the event. I haven't been to Panama City Beach yet. Looking forward to hopefully maybe going this year or in the future, but I just know it's a great event and the teams love it. So
yeah, and aside from all the fun things that you can do outside of baseball that Christian mentioned, we've seen at least a baseball correlation to where half the teams that go to spring training make it to the World Series. Yeah. And I think that just directly relates to getting on the field earlier, where if you're at home on campus, it's too cold. Mm-hmm. We're down there, no matter even, you're knocking the rust off, you might play sloppy, you're at least out there and you're knocking that rust off earlier than you would have the opportunity to on a regular basis where you're at.
And they're all non-conference games. I do know some teams, I think like the teams up in Wisconsin that may come down during the same time. They might even play a conference game while they're down there.
They like to get one out of the way.
Yeah, get one out so they can play a doubleheader when they are scheduled for their conference series. So, again, yeah, reach out. I know, Antonio, you bring up that next slide. I know we got quite a few teams, looks like, signed up already in total. I think registration opened up less than a month ago. So, it's good to see teams are jumping on it early.
Yep, it's filling up. As you guys can see there, week 3 is almost full already. So if I'm not sure what week 3 is, but no matter whatever week you are in, if you're thinking about this, you need to get talking to us now, get your registration in, and start making a decision, because it's going to be full sooner rather than later. On the softball side, nobody has signed up yet, but there are several interested teams that have been talking to Lacey, working out budgets with her, and we have a list there. On the teams that have reached out, and same idea there. We think the softball event is going to grow. Where when we were in Tampa, I don't think we had the just facility that could hold it, where now we do, to where we can have 3 or 4 softball games going on at once if we have the number of teams down there. So we're going to continue to try to grow that, but we need the teams to get down there and help spread the word to help us out there.
Beautiful, man. So yeah, if you're interested, reach out to us. We'd love to have you come down and experience it, and know that you're going to have such a great experience that you're going to want to come back every year. So that being said, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate your time. We're going to move on to some softball talk. National Club Softball Association. We, like baseball, we just got started this past weekend was our week 1 that we just got underway. Not a ton of games being played, but certainly had some key ones that I noticed. Michigan World Series team took 2 out of 3 from Oakland, and then NC State taking on UNC this past weekend, a pretty big matchup. NC State takes 2 out of 3 from UNC. Again, not a ton of games played week 1. Many more being played this upcoming weekend, and there's so many games being played. I did just pick one to highlight, and it's our 2022 national champion Virginia Tech is opening their season against App State at App State. So that'll be one to look out for during week 2 of play. As far as the top 20, the preseason top 20 just came out this past Thursday. You see our defending champs, Virginia Tech, in that top spot. They got 13 out of the 15 possible first place votes. Georgia and Florida State also got first place votes, as you can see in that poll. But yeah, I mean, a lot of past World Series teams on this preseason pool. I think after we get some games played, the next pool's coming out, and I want to say early October 6th, the first Thursday of October. It'll be coming out. It'll be a monthly pool, but that will have games obviously played and some results for the voters to look at. So this might change quite a bit from the preseason to the next October pool, but as of right now, your preseason number 1 is the Hokies from Virginia Tech, but again, look out for the October pool to be coming out that first Thursday of October. Really excited. We got some new teams on board since the last episode. Arlington Baptist, which is down in Texas, is a big get for us because we're trying to build that Texas conference, which we normally call the Gulf Coast area of the country. So we're hoping that Arlington Baptist joining Baylor will also snowball us getting more teams in that area, so that's a big get for us. Kent State and SUNY Binghamton also coming on board since our last episode, so really excited to have those teams on board. The more teams we're adding, I think we're up to 151 total teams in the NCSA, which we got over that 144 team threshold, so we'll be looking at for 23-24 season a Division II in the NCSA, which is really exciting. You see it on the baseball side. We've expanded to D2 and D3, which has really stabilized Division I and Division II, which we're hoping that we'll do the same for softball. So really excited about that. So it's we're always really excited with our new teams that have come on board. I mentioned it earlier, the common theme that you'll be hearing throughout this episode is the fact that we are underway in many of our sports, and rosters are the most paramount of importance when with paperwork right now. So teams need to make sure that they get their rosters finalized before week 2. I have a list in my office, and it's rather large with the amount of teams that are playing this upcoming weekend and are still yet to have a finalized roster. So you've all been emailed. So if you have any questions about how to get a roster finalized, please reach out to me ASAP. It's very easy, but while it's easy to do, you're relying on other people to do their part, and sometimes that takes time. So it's good to get on it as soon as possible so that you don't run into any issues. So please make sure that you're checking your emails regularly, and if you have any questions about how to finalize a roster, please let me know. I am here to help. Other than that, I think that's the most important. Nothing else much going on in the way of housekeeping items. So that takes us, finishes our softball segment. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The Game is the official headwear sponsor for Cold Club Sports. They offer our team's quality headwear, such as hats, visors, boonies, and beanies for a great low price. All items are customizable to meet our team's needs. Contact Felicia.Battaglia at coldclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Rawlings is the proud uniform, equipment, and ball sponsor of the National Club Baseball and Softball Associations. Teams receive up to 45% off on all their orders. For more information, including catalogs and price quotes, contact our front office today.
Welcome back to Suite 301. We are here with Matt Hazy, the Director of Men's Basketball Operations, to talk NCBBA Men's. We got the schedules released. That's the big news. Talk to us about that.
Schedules are released. They were sent out last week. Check your emails for those. Get on the website. Look over your schedule. Make sure everything's good as far as that goes. If not, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out with that.
I know we have a few areas of the country that schedules aren't out yet.
Just one.
Just one?
Just one at this point, yes.
Okay. So South, which one's done? Or are we waiting on them?
I believe it's just the Great Lakes South with Purdue and Butler and all that. So.
Okay.
Just waiting for some paperwork from IUPUI, and then
South Atlantic's all straightened out.
Yeah, remember we're doing spring only for them for the South Atlantic.
Okay, yeah. But we're still we don't, their schedules aren't released yet, but they are spring only. Okay.
Correct.
New teams since last episode. We got a few teams to flash up there. Pretty exciting. I see. Looks like at least 3 of those are out in the Pacific region of the country.
Yeah, absolutely, which we're very excited to have them on board as well. Hopefully we can get a couple more out there, open up 2 different conferences out in the Pacific. So,
all right, beautiful.
Still working hard out there. But yeah, happy to have everybody on board.
Big names up there, Wake Forest, Maryland, Butler, big college basketball program, UCLA obviously. So, very exciting there with the new teams. I'm guessing I'm going to be able to read your mind. Housekeeping items will be roster paperwork, coming out soon.
Yep.
Have the teams been made aware of how rosters work yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been okay. They've been emailed roster information, so yeah, make sure that you're getting your rosters finalized. I know it's November 1st is the opening day, but I know that sounds like a while away, but it's not.
Quickly.
Yes, it does. Anything else basketball wise?
I guess just for the Happy Valley Fall Tip-Off Tournament, just a reminder, just make sure you're booking your hotels. There is a cutoff date for all the hotels. Make sure you're getting those invoices paid. Those are due October 1st. So just making sure you're staying on top of that stuff.
Beautiful. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your time. Move on to NCBBA Women's Talk. We got Alec Verhoff, Director of Women's Basketball, on the line with us. There he is. How you doing, Alec?
Good. How are you doing, Christian?
Good, man. Welcome to Suite 301. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to join us. Want to talk similarly what we just talked about on the men's side of things. We did get conference schedules released.
Yep. So we have all of them, but there's a couple we're going to do spring only, the South Atlantic and the Pacific, so those aren't released yet. And then we're still waiting on one team for the North Atlantic West. So those are the only three. North Atlantic West will be coming out anytime now, but the other two are going to be spring only. So
Got some time on that.
give me a few weeks for that.
Okay. Good stuff. We also got some new teams on the women's side of club basketball. I see we got Ithaca, Penn, and UConn signed up.
Yep. We did get those three new teams. Very excited to have all of them on. They were great additions. Helped us with realignment, split some of those conferences, and we got a 4-team region out of it, and we got a couple more regions to where the playoffs are going to be a little bigger now. So that's all three of those played into that. So I'm very excited about that. There is possibility of the addition of a few more teams that I'm still waiting to hear back from as we get moving into the season. But right now, these were the three that we had since the last show.
Awesome. So they're big gets. That's great to hear. And yeah, I mean, we see it on across all of our sports. Where students are getting back to campus, and it's once they get back on campus, they start thinking, okay, extracurricular activities, and hey, I want to get my team into a league. So we do see a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but we do see teams come on board after the season has already been started. So if you're by chance watching and thinking about starting a new team in any of our leagues, it's not too late. We'd certainly love to hear from you. Housekeeping items. I know probably mirroring men's on a lot of this stuff.
Yep, I'm going to sound like a broken record with it, but rosters are a big one. We're a little over a month out from the season, so make sure to be getting that taken care of as soon as possible so you don't get to your first games and not have that roster in and have to forfeit. Also, performance bonds, those are due October 15th, so that's another big thing. And lastly, the equipment survey. We only had a few teams. I just followed up with them at the end of last week. But if you haven't taken care of that equipment survey, please get that done as soon as possible, too. Get you your basketballs, and you need those for your games as well.
Beautiful. Alec, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on Suite 301. We'll talk to you next month. Thank you to Alec, and we're going to get right into our last segment, the National Club Football Association, which is also underway. We got the Director of Football Operations, Dave Mogensen, with us, I believe, online, or on the show. There he is in his car. Mr. Mogensen, how are you today? He is frozen. That's a pretty face, though. Let me know, Antonio, if we do get Dave back on the line. I do know I'm being the professional that I am. I did take some notes down. The week one is officially in the books. We had some, it looks like some pretty big matchups week one. We had some I'm highlighting 3 conference games. We have number 1 Ohio State. The number 1 team in the country, Ohio State, taking on number 11 Toledo, winning that game 51-20. Oakland, number 6 Oakland, beating I don't have the number listed, Loyola 45-10, and then Michigan State defeating Wright State 28-17. 28-9. Believe we have some big games coming up this weekend, so look out for that. You can follow all of the NCFA updates at ncfafootball.org, so make sure to check the website for standings, scores, and all that stuff. The preseason poll also came out. We have the defending champions, Ohio State University, taking that top spot in the coaches poll, receiving 110 of the 110 total points to get that number one ranking. Gordon State taking the second place in the preseason poll, followed by Sacred Heart, and then George Mason, which was the runner-up this past season. So keep your eye out for the next Wilson top 20 poll coming out shortly. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns on the Club Football League, you can certainly reach out to Dave Mogensen. His information is out on our website, but we are well underway. Week 2 is upon us with some big matchups, so make sure to check ncfafootball.org for all the latest updates there. And I think nothing, Antonio. I'm assuming we got nothing. All right, so we're going to close this show out. We'll hopefully work on those issues for next month. But that's our show for this month. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Suite 301. Don't forget to keep up with our social media accounts. Next episode is October 18th at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. Join us then to catch up on everything that's happening around Cole Club Sports. And as always, remember, it's a game.